check one. Good evening, everybody. Welcome inside the Waterloo Memorial Rec Complex. It's the final game of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. A provincial champion will be crowned tonight as the Toronto Marlboros face off with the Quinte Red Devils. Second time these two teams have matched up here this championship weekend. We're excited to get it underway here from Waterloo. It's going to be a battle between the two sides. Toronto, the only undefeated team in this championship. Quinte in the second seed coming out of the round robin. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. My name is Dylan Baker. So thrilled to be with you for this final game. It has been dominance for the Toronto Marlboros all weekend long. 31 goals for, 7 goals against throughout their 7 games here this weekend. They have been a well-oiled machine game in and game out. Round robin semifinal doesn't matter. They won the semifinal by a score of 8-1 over the eventual bronze medalist in the Huron-Perth Lakers. The Quinte Red Devils have really come on here later in the tournament. Winners of their past 4 contests and trying to carry that momentum into this game against Toronto. It's a pivotal one. Everybody is on the edge of their seats here inside the building, so let's send it down to ice level now for the pregame ceremonies, the national anthem, prior to puck drop in this one. Anthem complete. We are almost set for hockey here in Waterloo. It's the final of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. The Toronto Marlboros and the Quinte Red Devils. These two teams opened this tournament on Wednesday morning, so fitting that they are the ones to close things out here on this Sunday evening. Quinte, winners of their last 5 contests to end the round robin and into the semifinal. In their last 4 games, they've allowed just 3 goals. It's been the same story on the other side for the Marlboros, who have been dominant defensively. They've been dominant offensively all weekend long. 31 goals for, just 7 goals against. Xavier Zito gets the call between the pipes for Toronto. On the flip side, it's Ryan Keys for Quinte. It's the final of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships, and we are underway. So good to have you with us. Luca D'Agostini wins the face-off for the Marlboros, handled by Brett DeMello through center and deflected down the ice by Evan Andrews. Quinte goes to reset in their own zone. Sebastian Smith has it in the corner. Smith tied up, battles for possession below the goal line with Andrew Zetis. Now back on it is D'Agostini. D'Agostini to the blue line for Ross. Ross for DeMello. DeMello's got space. Plays it out front. Tipped and they score! It's a fast start for the Marlboros. 27 seconds in. They lead 1-0. And it's Brett DeMello. His second goal of the championship. Well, it didn't take long to get things underway here in the gold medal game. DeMello fires a shot, hits off the stick of a defender, and deflects home to give Toronto a 1-0 lead. Mentioned that prior matchup between these two teams. Toronto came out on the right side of it by a score of 4-1. They are, of course, the only undefeated team here this weekend. Off the wall, Declan Doyle sends it through center. Now in comes Will Beebe. Beebe bobbles the puck. Now a chance for Nelson, a shot. Zito makes the save and holds on. Well, Xavier Zito has been part of this Toronto dominance all weekend long, coming in having played 4 games, a 1 goals against average, had a 24-save shutout in their 3rd game of the weekend against Waterloo, and has been terrific game in and game out for the Marlboros. Off the face-off, Samek tries to send it around the wall towards Fata, finds him now. Rafael Fata along the boards, shovels it to Beauclair. Beauclair up the line, held there by Nelson. Fata resets for the Marlboros. Fata cross-ice feed, bouncing puck, Samek's on it. Now held at the line here by Quinte. Beauclair in pursuit, working in, down the wall. Here's a chance for Beebe, now drops for Nelson. That shot blocked there by Fata, who's laboring a little bit in the Toronto zone. Puck comes around the boards, Beebe. Beebe loses it, Kindly's got it for Toronto. Lee sends it all the way down the ice. That's going to be icing called against the Marlboros, and the face-off will come all the way back. All the Marlboros coaching staff and players giving Rafael Fata some props for a big block shot on that last sequence, but he's certainly in some discomfort on that Toronto bench. Quinte trying to respond. They allowed the game's opening goal just 27 seconds into the contest. They shut out Waterloo 3-0 this morning in the semifinal. They allowed just 1 goal in each of their final 3 round-robin games and 2 in the game prior, a victory over Huron-Perth. Off the face-off, Red Devils control, a shot that gets blocked in traffic. Now back after it, Zetas. Zetas in his own zone. A pass from Marchese blocked there. Norton works in. Norton tries to center for Campbell. Campbell in close, shoots. That one blocked in traffic. Comes back now to D'Agostini. He'll try to get it over towards Zetas through center. Marchese looks to whack it in. It's flipped by Ross off the glass in deep. Chance Cooney. Cooney around the boards for Gilchrist. Noah Gilchrist sends the pass to Max Norton. Norton to the red line. Rims it in deep. Back after it now is Nathan Miner. Miner from his own zone. Feed out to center for Zetas. Poked off his stick by Reichert Thompson. Norton tries to get it in over the blue line. Couldn't do so cleanly. It hit a stanchion. Beauclair resets here for the Marlboros. Beauclair 13 points in 7 games here in this championship. Bouncing puck, move made nicely here by Whalen. Whalen over the blue line. Whalen racing in, throws it on goal. Zito to save. He'll cover up as Zubza Hill was in the vicinity trying to knock it loose, but we'll get a stoppage. Quinte out shooting Toronto right now, but the one Toronto shot has found the back of the net to give them an early lead here in the contest. Off the face-off, Marlboros control of their own zone. Fata back out there after the block shot on his last shift, a centering pass that gets deflected there, and DeMello resets here. DeMello from his own zone sends a pass to Fata. Fata out through neutral ice. Fata over the blue line. Fata goes around the Quinte net with possession. Fata feeds it up top, DeMello. DeMello has space. DeMello holds, shoots. That one blocked. Red Devils trying to clear the zone. Comes back to Andrews. Evan Andrews swings it off the end boards to Beauclair. Beauclair gets it back down low. Gardner goes off the wall for Fata. Fata into the corner. Pins his man up along the wall, and the Red Devils come away with possession. Whalen out to center. Whalen comes in over the blue line. Cade Whalen pivots away from pressure, tries to send it down low for Cohen Reed. Pass never got to him. Reed on it now, though. Reed tries to center a feed. It's blocked by DeMello. Doyle at the line, a shot saved by Zito, and he will hold on. Well, Xavier Zito also got the start in the semifinal for the Marlboros, saving 11 of 12 shots that he had to face in that contest. En route to a victory over the Huron-Perth Lakers by a score of 8-1. Ryan Keys on the other side for Quinte, not in goal in the semifinal for the Red Devils. Blake Lauren got the start against Waterloo. Puck comes around the end boards. Beebe's got it now. Beebe in the offensive zone for Doyle up top. Doyle rims it back around the wall. In pursuit, Cash Nelson below the goal line. Nelson has it in his skates. D'Agostini whacks away, comes to Ross. Jackson Ross flips it out to center, knocked down there by Norton, but a hand pass will be called as Beebe plays it at center. We'll take this moment to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event, the whole championship weekend, but this gold medal game in particular. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Jensen Campbell against Jackson Gardner for this face-off. Campbell wins the draw for Quinte. Back after it, Kine Lee in the offensive zone. Lee goes up to Samek at the line now for Ross. Ross back for Samek. Samek throws it back to Lee. Now Samek again from distance. Pad save there by Keys. Comes down below the goal line. Gardner for Lee. Lee looking for options, centering feed, knocked down by Norton. Max Norton's out to center with possession. 5 goals in the championship. Drops a pass. Campbell looking for it. Campbell in close. Scores! Jensen Campbell gets the Red Devils on the board with his 5th of the championship. And this gold medal game is tied. Jensen Campbell left alone out front. Goes top shelf to beat Zito and tie the game. Norton rushed it up ice. Got the Red Devils over the line. Found Campbell down near the net and he buries it. We're even at one aside. The Red Devils had tons of pressure after that first Toronto goal, looking to find a response, and they get one there, courtesy of Campbell. Here's Minor. Minor through center, D'Agostini. D'Agostini for Zettis. Zettis takes a shot. Keys the save. Will cover up the rebound in a hurry. Well, Jensen Campbell has come on here over recent games. Had a goal and an assist for 2 points in Game 4. Then 3 points in Game 5, including 2 goals. And then a goal in the 6th game of the round robin for Quinte, the win over Ottawa. Puck comes up to Minor at the line. Looked like it squeaked out to center. The official agrees with me, so offside the call. And we'll have a stoppage in play. Puck will be out at center for this face-off. On the other side, Brett DeMello mentioned it was his 2nd goal of the championship. He scored in the final round-robin game for the Marlboros, a 3-1 victory over Huron-Perth, who they also defeated in the semifinal this morning. Samek throws it around the end boards. Keys out of the crease, a deflection. Riker Thompson sends a pass that gets chipped out to center, and Rafael Fata will regroup for Toronto. Fata for Marchese. Now back into the Marlboros end, it's Samek. Samek off the boards. Cooney giving chase back in the Quinte zone. Chance Cooney rims it off the wall. Zubza Hill looking to clear it. Comes to D'Agostini. D'Agostini loses possession. It's forced out to center. Elric sends it down the ice. Won't be icing here as he gained the red line. Samek starts the breakout for Toronto. Samek for Fata. Fata fires it in deep. Smith in pursuit. Smith below the goal line. Bank pass. Now at the line. It's held there by Toronto. Good pressure in the corner. Thompson picks it back up. Thompson watched there by Mashinter, and out to center come the Red Devils. Over the blue line, Nelson. Nelson in the corner. Trying to maintain possession. Can't do it. Ross fires it ahead to Mashinter. Mashinter trying to clear the zone. Beebe whacks away. Held to the Toronto line. Now circling back out to center with possession is Nelson. Nelson swung it over to Malkin Courtney, and Courtney will send it down the ice. Ross under siege, comes to Beebe. Beebe a move, pass gets cut there by Gardner. Beauclair has possession. Beauclair fires it to the blue line. Courtney couldn't hold. Mashinter trying to force it ahead, couldn't quite slip by cleanly. Comes back to Ross. Ross sends a pass. It's forced out to center by Gracie. Gracie for Beauclair. Beauclair, cross-ice feed. Back it over the line, Ross. Ross into the corner. Ross, tight angle shot, saved by Keys. Bounces up to the line, now it's Gracie. Gracie a pass off the skate of Campbell. Ross will fire it back in deep. Smith regroups here for the Red Devils. Smith over to Courtney. Courtney out to center. Pass cut by Andrew Zettis. Zettis over the blue line of the shot. Deflected there by Smith. Up and over the glass. Out of play. Well, this puck stoppage is brought to you by Barron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Barron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Face-off will go to the right of Keys here. D'Agostini wins the draw. Fata one-timer misses the net. Back after it, Gilchrist for Quinte. On it there first is Zetas. Gilchrist whacks away. Now comes back to Campbell. It was this line that struck for the first Quinte goal of this game. Campbell found the back of the net after a rush up ice from Norton. Norton plays it in deep. Fata back to retrieve it. Fata looking for DeMello. Comes off the boards. Evan Andrews there. Can't get it out. Norton a shot from the line. Zito got a glove on it. Couldn't hold on. Gilchrist back on it. Gilchrist up the boards. Cut by Andrews. Andrews out to neutral ice. Here's Thompson. Riker Thompson sends the feed to Jensen Campbell. He's got space. Campbell into the slap shot blocked by Rafael Fata, who got back in time to cut it off. Fata back the other way for Toronto. Fata over the blue line. Takes the shot. Glove save by Ryan Keys, who holds on to get a whistle. Nice stop there by Keys, who allowed 4 goals in the opening game of the tournament for Quinte against this Toronto squad, then allowed just 3 in their second game of the round robin and just 1 in their 4th and 5th games of round robin play against Kenora and North Bay. Face-off won by the Red Devils. Cooney below the goal line, loses possession, bouncing puck. Nelson trying to find it, comes to Minor at the line for Toronto. Minor in the direction of Beauclair. Beauclair pivots away from pressure, spins it in deep, comes to Cooney down low. Now taken away, Lee's got it. Kyle Lee makes the move. Lee stripped of the puck, comes out to center. Minor and Ross exchange passes. Minor through the middle of the ice, knocked down there by Courtney. Courtney clears the zone. Zetas back in. Zetas watched by Elric. Zetas goes out wide, centering feed, chance at the doorstep. Gardner denied by Keys. Beauclair back on it. He loses possession. Elric pokes it away. Good chance there for Toronto, but can't capitalize. Cash Nelson through center now. Nelson plays it on the backhand. Cross ice feed Whalen. Whalen tries to slip by, trickles towards the goal. Zito will cover up and get a stoppage in play. Good chances at both ends of the ice there. One for Toronto, one for Quinte. Red Devils were pressing down near, the Marlboros were pressing down near the Red Devils net, and Keys able to make his save, and Beauclair kept away on the rebound by Elric. Off the face-off, D'Agostini wins the draw. Samek goes off the boards. Handled now by DeMello. DeMello sends a feed to Marchese. Marchese cut off there by Thompson. Marchese tries to rim it around the end boards and will. Sebastian Smith back for it here for Quinte. Smith for Beebe. Beebe off the wall, hits the glove, comes to Campbell. Campbell sweeps it out to center, hops over the stick of Samek, back into the Marlboro zone. Samek around the end wall. DeMello giving chase. Now Beebe. Beebe tries to poke it down below the goal line. Samek retrieves it. Samek off the boards, the line. Thompson bumps Marchese as it comes back to Smith. Smith in neutral ice. Off the glass, hits a stanchion in deep. We've got a whistle here in behind the play. Icing is the call. Well, Entropy is the official online championship apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships, offering championship gear available for order now. Again, that is Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Well, these two teams both vying to be Ontario champions with a victory today. Good game so far in this first period. Off the face-off, Gardner won it, but Norton got in there quickly, and Whalen sends it out to center. Whalen for Gilchrist. Gilchrist down the ice, and Ross back to retrieve it here for Toronto. Ross drops it back for Fata. Rafael Fata rifles a feed out to center out of the stick of Beauclair. Beauclair makes the move, gets it down to Ross. He's in, drops it off. Zetas towards the goal, kept away. Great defensive work there from Norton. Norton got back to prevent the chance as Toronto was buzzing. Zetas finds Ross. That shot off the stick of Thompson, up and over the glass, out of play. Well, really good defensive work from Max Norton, racing back to prevent the chance. Andrew Zetas was alone out front. You'll get a look at the whole sequence here. Toronto racing up the ice. Ross found Zetas right near the goal, and Norton sprinted back into the play to prevent the scoring chance. Drawing the Quinte end once again. Toronto trying to reestablish themselves after Quinte had all the momentum following the Marlboros goal. Off the face-off, Elric goes around the end boards, comes to Cooney. Chance Cooney in the direction of Cash Nelson here. Nelson off the wall, out to center, bouncing puck. DeMello giving chase. Now Zubza Hill has space. Can't quite get to the goal cleanly. Beebe swings it back out front. Couldn't find Zubza Hill. Now it'll be flipped out to neutral ice by Ross. Ross, a long feed that finds Gardner and Beauclair, but kept away there. Nice play by Cooney getting back. Cooney for Zubza Hill. Zubza Hill loses an edge. Beebe back in, poked off his stick, and Andrews finds DeMello. DeMello to the blue line. Beebe looks to hold. Comes out to center. Here's Elric. Elric a move over the line. Elric stick handles, works his way in, peels in the corner. Centering feed, one-timer, denied there by Zito. What a chance for Zubza Hill down low. Marlboros look to clear the zone. D'Agostini out to center. Cooney back on it for Quinte. Cooney sends a feed to Elric, poked off his stick by Zetis. Zetis racing in, backhanded up the wall by Beebe. Fata loses possession. Here's Nelson. Nelson off the boards to center, gets by Lee. Here's Jensen Campbell over the blue line. Campbell a move. Campbell a shot blocked by Samek. Campbell back after the corner, comes instead to Zetis. Zetis a feed for Fata. Rafael Fata comes over the blue line, bobbles the puck. Lee back after it. Lee sends a pass to Zetis, takes a shot off the skate of Thompson. D'Agostini back out front, bouncing around near the slot. D'Agostini can't get a shot away. Fired up the wall by Cohen Reed, out to neutral ice. Fata, watched by Campbell. Fata tries to fire it in deep, he will. Smith back for it. Sebastian Smith up the boards looking for Campbell. Fresh off the bench, Beauclair cuts it off. Smith ties it up. Shoveled around the boards. Campbell flips it high in the air, down the ice, race for the loose puck. Getting there first is Reed, won't be icing. Reed from the corner, looking for an option. Reed has Whalen out front, pass goes off a skate. Marlboros reset. Marchese for Gardner, Gardner for Beauclair. Beauclair back for Gardner, deflected. Here's Marchese, a pass out front, hit a stick. Back to Marchese, lets it fly. Glove save made by Ryan Keys. Well, Gatorade is the official sports nutrition beverage of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships, fueling athlete hydration and recovery to keep performance at its peak throughout the championship. Getting a look here at the replay of that Marchese shot, a glove save made by Keys, who gets a stoppage. Noah Gilchrist gets away from the dot here as a late change for the Red Devils, so Max Norton will come in to take the face-off against Jackson Gardner. Norton wins it. Malkin Courtney off the boards. Doyle has possession. Doyle back for Courtney. Courtney in the Red Devils zone. Out to neutral ice, swept back to Ross. Ross fed to Andrews. Andrews in deep. Now back for it, Courtney. Courtney sends a feed to Gilchrist. Gilchrist loses possession. Beauclair in the corner. Beauclair makes a move, feeds it up to the blue line. Gracie back to Beauclair. Beauclair rims it in deep. Courtney facing pressure from Andrews. And Gardner now in there as well. It'll be back around the wall from Nelson. Out to center, it's Gilchrist. Gilchrist flips it in on goal. Zito has a little bit of trouble with it, but gets it off the pad and stays clear. Ross plays it ahead now to Gardner. Gardner at the end of a long shift goes up to Beauclair. Beauclair back for Ross to Beauclair. Now Andrews in space, a shot saved by Keys. That's a big save from Ryan Keys off the rush. Andrews tries to hold the line for Toronto, can't do it. Zubza Hill with pressure. Now Andrews with it again. Andrews sends it down low. Zetis back for it first for Toronto. Zetis tied up by Cooney. Zetis battles with Norton. Comes around the end boards. D'Agostini. D'Agostini below the goal line. D'Agostini works it back up top. DeMello. DeMello for D'Agostini again. D'Agostini takes a shot, rides off his stick, sails high. Marlboros looking to reset. Fata plays it off the boards for Lee. Lee loses possession. Comes out to center. Norton had lost his stick, couldn't come up with it. Fata works it back in over the line. Fata a move, can't quite slip by cleanly. Cut off by Chance Cooney. Cooney all the way down the ice. Does it have enough for icing? No. DeMello back on it. Final minute here of the opening period. DeMello poked off his stick there by Whalen. Whalen trying to get by Fata. Elric plays it in deep. Zito turns it away, now decides to cover up and gets a stoppage as the Red Devils were closing in on that chance. Xavier Zito's been strong in goal for Toronto. Has faced 8 shots and stopped 7 of them. Keys on the other side, 9 of 10 so far in this one. Whalen wins the draw for Quinte. Courtney a shot from the line. Zito the save. Rebound is loose. It'll be picked back up now by Ross. Ross sends a pass to Beauclair. Beauclair trying to shovel it out to center. Can't do it. Beebe back in. Whalen out front. Whalen gets the pass, takes the shot, but Zito got over to make the save. Great stop there by Xavier Zito to keep this one tied. Smith back below the goal line. Samek has possession for Toronto. Samek sends a pass far boards. Ross out to center. Gardner. Gardner, a stretch feed for Zetis. Zetis back out front. Gardner a chance. Keys made the stop. Fantastic save from Ryan Keys there. Ross back below the goal line. Courtney. Courtney rims it around the wall. Comes to Beebe. Beebe sends it all the way down the ice, and icing will be the call with 0.5 seconds on the clock here in this first period. So Marlboros will get an offensive zone draw. If they're really fast with it, maybe a shot here before the buzzer sounds. Appears to be Whalen against Gardner for this face-off off the draw. Red Devils poke it to the far boards, and that'll do it for the first 15 minutes of this one. Well, a really good first period between Quinte and Toronto. Tied game 1-1 after 15. Both teams will get words from their coaches here before exchanging ends for the second frame. Chances at both ends of the ice. Toronto has had games this weekend where they have dominated play. Not the case here in that first period. Both teams have been very evenly matched. As you get a look at the DeMello goal, a shot that hit off the stick of a defender and deflected past Ryan Keys between the pipes for Quinte. Got the scoring started 27 seconds into the first period. The DeMello shot hits the stick of a defender, goes into the back of the net. But Quinte raced the other way. Max Norton to rush up ice, and Jensen Campbell found wide open down low. Puts it top shelf over the shoulder of Zito to even the game up at 1-1. It was Gilchrist that found Campbell in close, and a nice move down near the net for Jensen Campbell to score his 5th goal of the championship. 5th goal in his last 4 games as well. Scored in the final 3-round robin contest for Quinte. Both teams heading back out onto the ice for this second period in a tied game at 1-1. Big middle frame coming up before our intermission here in the gold medal game of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Jensen Campbell lines up for the draw with Jackson Gardner. Off the face-off, Campbell wins it, comes to Norton. Norton taken down by Andrews. Red Devils trying to flip it in deep. Rafael Fata has possession for Toronto. Pass through center, knocked down by Campbell, swiped away by Fata. Fata over the blue line, slips past Thompson. Now Norton. Norton poked off his stick by Beauclair. Gardner in the corner for Beauclair. Beauclair cycles for Gardner. Beauclair back with it, now Samek at the line. Samek, cross-ice feed, Fata takes the shot, tipped high, and over the glass, out of play. Well, both teams starting with different groups on the ice for this second period than the ones they had out there for the first. Toronto sending out their scoring line to start the period. Gardner's got 9 points in the championship. Beauclair leads everybody with 13. Another offensive zone draw coming up for the Marlboros here. D'Agostini will take the face-off against Nelson. Nelson won the draw. Malkin Courtney's back on it. Courtney sends it off the boards in the direction of Reed. Reed trying to get it out to center. Now Kine Lee swings it around the end boards. Cooney back on it. Cooney rims it around the wall. Beebe looks to clear the zone. Comes to D'Agostini. Now Courtney. Courtney bumped by Zetis there. Nelson loses possession. Marchese shovels it up to the blue line. Minor. Back to Marchese. Marchese tried to pass. Nelson cut it off. Nelson ties up Marchese. Marchese goes down as the Red Devils look to clear. Can't do it. Minor a feed towards the slot. Nearly squeaked out to center. They'll say it did. And so Toronto has to tag up as Quinte will reset in their own zone. Malkin Courtney off the boards in the direction of Reed. Just missed that pass. Now Minor for Zetis. Taken back by Cooney. Cooney tries to get over the red line block. Nelson's got it now. Nelson, a feed for Reed. Reed in the direction of Beebe. Reed comes back over the blue line just onside. Zetas will pick it back up for Toronto though. Zetas out through center. Zetas working in. Drop pass Ross. Ross, tight angle shot. That one blocked by Cooney. Cooney off the glass, trying to get it out to center. Hit a stanchion, stays in. D'Agostini works back. D'Agostini. Thompson trying to keep him away. D'Agostini centers a feed. Fata pinching from the line, gets it back. Fata for D'Agostini. D'Agostini to DeMello. DeMello, a shot tipped out front, bounces over the net. Thompson back to retrieve it. Good pressure here from the Marlboros. They've got possession. Lee fans on a shot, takes the shot now. Keys makes the save. Rebound is still loose. Off the boards, Gardner for Lee. Back for Gardner down low. Gardner, stick handles on the backhand to Fata. Rafael Fata. Trying to go back to Gardner with a slap pass there. Gardner bobbles it. Now Thompson. Thompson off the boards. Red Devils will get it out to center. Here it's Whalen. Whalen coming in over the blue line. Whalen into the corner. Takes a shot deflected. Fata looking for it. Zito covers up. And he will hold on. Well, Cade Whalen has 6 goals in this championship for Quinte, leading the team in that category. Goals in Game 1, Game 3, Game 5, had a goal and an assist in Game 2. 2 goals in Game 6 of their round robin and an assist in the semifinal this morning. Face-off won by Toronto, and the defensive end comes right back to Zito, who will take no chances and cover up once again for Toronto. Off the draw. Little scramble for it. Andrews pokes it up the boards. Trying to get it out to center. He will. Elric back on it for Quinte. Now Thompson. Thompson comes in over the line. Thompson fires a shot. Saves Zito, who holds on again. Zito trying to control all these rebounds. Did a good job of it so far for the Marlboros. Toronto making just one little change here ahead of the next face-off. DeMello to the bench. Ross comes over the boards. The Marlboros have been mixing and matching their deep pairs all weekend long. It's worked for them very well. Ross has the puck now. Ross in the direction of Zetas, misses him, comes all the way down the ice. That's going to be icing called against Toronto, so Quinte will have an offensive zone face-off forthcoming. A reminder that we are thanking our partners all day long here for all their support this weekend. A special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Off the face-off, Andrews banks it off the boards. Thompson holds the line, tries to get around D'Agostini. Thompson into the corner. Now a centering feed that gets deflected and comes out to center. Race for the loose puck. Smith will get back for it here for the Red Devils. Smith below the goal line. Thompson. Thompson to the point. Here's Ross. Ross working in. Ross throws it down low. Andrews. Andrews back to Ross. Ross holds the line, takes a shot, blocked by Beebe. Bouncing puck comes into the corner. Zetas retrieves it. Zetas gets it to D'Agostini. Thompson swoops in, steals the puck. Riker Thompson. Thompson over the line. Thompson end to end here with a chance. Can't get a shot away. And Andrews will reset for Toronto. At the line, Whalen holds. That shot off the leg of Elric. Thompson and Beebe in pursuit. Beebe goes around the end boards. Now DeMello. DeMello in behind the Marlboros net. Sends a pass through center to Zetas. Andrew Zetas over the blue line. Zetas tripped up on the play. Penalty coming. Toronto will get the game's first power play. Andrew Zetas tripped up as he came over the blue line, and so tripping will be the call. It sends Declan Doyle to the penalty box here for Quinte. Get another look at it as Zetas gets the outlet pass through center. Tried to come over the line. Doyle's right skate caught him, and he got tripped up on the sequence. First power play for either team in this contest. Marlboros trying to take the lead back. They opened the scoring. Quinte tied things up. Gardner wins the faceoff. It's Beauclair for Fata. Fata to Ross. Ross holding, shooting, pad save Keys. That's a big stop from Keys and a big clear down the ice from Chance Cooney. Xavier Zito out of the crease, drops it back for Ross. Ross looks to break out for the Marlboros. Drop pass to Fata. Rafael Fata through center. Fata comes over the blue line. Fata watched by Elric. Fata does a lap of the offensive zone here, tries to bank it back. Quinte looks to clear, can't do it. Ross holds the line, goes to Beauclair. Beauclair throws it back down low. Cross ice feed for Fata, parked out front. Couldn't get a shot away. Campbell got his stick in the lane. Now Ross at the line. Ross sends a pass to Beauclair. Beauclair back for Ross. Ross through traffic, tipped just wide of the goal. Andrew Zetis retrieves it for Toronto. A minute gone here in the power play. Ross for Beauclair. Beauclair winding in, drops it back. Ross takes the shot. Keys makes the save, and he will hold on. Good stop there from Ryan Keys. Toronto moving the puck well here in the offensive zone on this power play. But Keys has looked sharp in goal for Quinte in this game. Get a look at the replay of that last chance here. Ross fed it cross ice. Beauclair went back to Ross up high. Keys fought through the traffic to make the save. Ross works it to Beauclair. Beauclair down low, Gardner back for Beauclair. Beauclair misses the pass, comes all the way down the ice. Ross will reset here in his own zone. 9.5 to play in the second period. Ross spins back. Drop feed Beauclair. Beauclair over to Fata. Rafael Fata gets by Norton. Fata over the blue line. Fata toe drag shot saved there by Keys. Rebound cleared nicely off the wall by Courtney. Now out through center. Here comes Norton shorthanded. Norton tries to work to the slot. Loses it in his skates. Norton sends a pass over. It's Elric. Elric fires it down the ice, glove there by Zito. Zito will play it. Samek tries to peel away from Cash Nelson as time winds down in the penalty. Quinte 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Toronto 0 for 1 on the power play. Marlboros look to get it out to center. Beauclair's got it in his own zone. Has been out there for the duration of the man advantage. D'Agostini over the line. D'Agostini in the corner. Facing pressure. Works it down to Zetis. Zetis watched by Thompson. That pass cut. Red Devils look to get it out to center. Elric a feed for Norton. Norton comes over the blue line. Drop pass. Elric's got it now. Elric fires a shot. Saves Zito. He will cover up and get a stoppage. Nice save by Xavier Zito to get that stoppage, which gives us a chance to remind you that this puck stoppage is brought to you by Baron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Baron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Face-off in the Toronto zone. Won by Jackson Gardner. Brett DeMello sends it off the boards for Samek. Samek now for Zetis. Zetis back for Gardner in neutral ice. Gardner lost it to Cooney and Whalen. Whalen to Reed. Reed off the glass. Beebe over the line. Chips it in deep. Beebe looks to pivot away from Samek. DeMello can't find it. Cooney from the line. That shot blocked there by Zetis. Zetis into space, picked up by Whalen. Whalen works in, tries to center a feed, it's blocked. Evan Andrews heads back up ice for Toronto. Andrews comes over the line. Andrews makes a move, goes into the corner, centering pass, blocked by Beebe. Beebe leads the breakout here for Quinte. Beebe over the blue line, drop pass, Whalen takes the shot, saves Zito. Rebound loose, Whalen looks to feed it up high. Cooney after it, Samek on it. Samek to the line, Cooney holds, takes the shot, misses the net. Looked for Whalen on the deflection there. Whalen in the corner, swings it back below the goal line, Samek. Samek, cross ice feed, DeMello out to center. Over the line, here come the Marlboros. It's a shot from D'Agostini, blocked in traffic there. Gilchrist for Thompson. Riker Thompson. Up for Max Norton. Norton out to center, a pass for Gilchrist out of his reach down the ice, and that will be icing called against the Red Devils. Marlboros continuing to outshoot the Red Devils here in this game, but it's been end-to-end chances so far in the contest. Both goaltenders have had to make highlight reel saves, and Keys and Zito have done just that. D'Agostini against Norton for this draw. A tie-up on the face-off. Norton comes away with possession, bounces around. Beauclair grabs it. Beauclair from Marchese comes out front. Scramble for it near the net. Back the other way, here's Norton. Norton out through center. Norton racing in. Norton goes out wide, beats a defender. Norton centering feed. Nobody in the slot for it except for Beauclair. Beauclair Loses possession, but there to recover D'Agostini. D'Agostini heads the other way for Marchese. Marchese over the line. Backhand pass down low. Bouncing puck cut off by Campbell. Jensen Campbell flips it high in the air out to center. Ross will play it for Toronto. Ross peels away from Gilchrist. Ross for Minor, back for Ross. Ross flies through center. Ross over the blue line. Ross makes a move. Ross towards the goal with a shot saved by Keys. Gilchrist drops it back in his own zone. Thompson. Riker Thompson. Holding a pass out to center. Deflected. Comes to Norton now. Norton gains the red line. Fires it in deep. Heads out for a change here for Quinte. Wholesale changes for the Red Devils as the Marlboros reset. Kindly over the blue line. Lee holding, looking to create space. We've seen him do it a number of times this weekend. That pass cut though. Whalen out to center. Zubza-Hill trying to get over the line. Can't do it. Puck is swung by Elric in the direction of Zubza-Hill. Bouncing back in the Quinte zone here. Doyle for Zubza-Hill. Zubza-Hill sends it ahead to Whalen. Whalen over the line. Whalen a move. Whalen cutting to the net, tight angle shot. Zito able to keep it clear. Now Elric in the corner. Elric for Doyle up high. Doyle takes the shot, tipped out front by Whalen. Goes off a skate and wide. Zetas pursues in the corner. Courtney pinching from the line. Trying to maintain possession for Quinte. Now Rafael Fata comes away with it. Kindly back on it for Toronto. Lee drops it back for Sammy Gracie. Gracie, a feed for Fata. Fata goes off the boards. D'Agostini in pursuit. D'Agostini now into the Red Devils zone. Slapped up ice, picked back up by Gracie. Gracie a feed deflected by Zubza-Hill. Now racing in, here's Courtney. Courtney drop pass Elric. Elric shooting, misses the net. Rebound off the back of the goal. Courtney tries a wraparound, couldn't get a shot away. Gracie shovels it around the wall. Elric takes a shot, turned away by Zito there, and Beauclair will pick it back up for Toronto. Beauclair starts the breakout for the Marlboros. Comes through center for Andrews. Andrews in onside. Andrews into the corner. Stick lifted there by Doyle out front. Marlboros bench wanted a penalty, not going to get one. Back at the line, DeMello. DeMello out front, tipped on goal, D'Agostini, but a big save made by Ryan Keys, who gets a whistle. D'Agostini right there to tip that shot, but Keys makes the stop. You'll get a look at the replay. Marlboros were pressing. Andrews got it up high, and the shot through traffic tip, but Keys says no problem. We'll remind you that Entropy is the official online championship apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships, offering championship gear available for order online now. Again, that is Entropy, the official online apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Draw will go to the right of Keys here. Off the face-off, Beauclair's got it for Toronto. Beauclair goes around the Quinte net, centering feed. Andrews, a shot just went high. Red Devils get it out to center. Ross has it. Ross flips it so high in the air that it hits the ceiling here in Waterloo, and that will get us a stoppage in play. If you're unfamiliar with the Waterloo Memorial Rec Complex, there are these large steel beams across the ceiling helping support the roof here. And just hit one of the steel beams on that clearing attempt for the Marlboros. Off the face-off. Nelson looking for it on the tie-up. Here's Andrews. There are the beams. Good look at that from our camera folks downstairs. Andrews swings it around the end boards. Nelson in pursuit. Bouncing puck. Beauclair. Beauclair feeds it up high. DeMello in space. Takes the shot. It gets blocked. Thompson back after it. Thompson shovels it off the boards. Now handled by Reed. Reed into space. Beauclair looks to hold the line. Can't do it. Ross works it back in. Stripped by Beebe and Nelson. Red Devils fire it down the ice. Does it have enough for icing? Trickling towards the goal line? No. DeMello will play it. Brett DeMello has the lone Toronto goal in this game. A deflection off a defender out front. Ross swings it off the glass. Gardner cut off by Cooney. Now Nelson. Nelson loses possession. Gardner back with it. Gardner over the blue line. Goes between the skates of Cooney there. Gardner working in. Gardner tries a centering pass. It's cut off. Gardner feeds it up high to the line. Samek's got it now. Samek to Gardner. Gardner back in deep. Nelson pursues. Nelson for Cooney. Cooney off the boards. Out to center. Samek over for Fata. Fata kept away by Norton there. Beebe up the wall. Chips it in deep. Quinte will change. Samek resets for the Marlboros. Samek off the skate of Gardner. Gardner for Marchese. Marchese loses it to Gilchrist. Gilchrist flips it in deep. Fata back on it. Fata sends it through center, deflected by Marchese down the ice. On it, Sebastian Smith. Smith in the Quinte zone for Gilchrist. Gilchrist up for Campbell. Jensen Campbell over the blue line. Campbell into the corner. Campbell goes out wide, stops on a dime, peels back looking for an option. Rims it around the end boards. Rafael Fata slaps it off the wall. Courtney pinching to hold the line. Courtney into the corner for Norton. Just missed him. Fata off the wall. Now Gilchrist centers Campbell on the doorstep. Zito able to keep it out. Campbell couldn't settle the bouncing puck on that chance. Back the other way, Kine Lee. Lee through center. Lee a move over the line. Lee still maintaining possession. Goes into space for Fata. Just missed him with that pass. Fata around for Beauclair. Beauclair up high for Kine Lee. Lee holding. Cross ice feed. Fata. Fata shooting. Passing down low. D'Agostini back up high. Fata. Fata walks the blue. Takes the shot. Tip just wide. Now a chance at the doorstep. Keys able to keep it clear. Courtney for Norton. Norton through center. Norton over the blue line. Norton a move. Tried to cut to the net. Kept away by Ross. Ross sends a pass out to center. D'Agostini. D'Agostini's over the line for Beauclair. Beauclair looking to create space. Puck comes back out to center. Ross pokes it in. Marlboros are offside. A feed in the direction of Elric gets blocked there. Samek trying to play it. Forced back into the Marlboros end as we enter the final minute of the second period. Beauclair in pursuit. Here's Thompson. Riker Thompson for Quinte. Rims it around the end wall. Zetis off the bench, tied up. Bouncing puck. Doyle. Now Beauclair. Beauclair in the corner. Whalen after it. Whalen jams it up along the board. Still work free. D'Agostini to Nelson. DeMello at the line. DeMello takes the shot, blocked in traffic. Comes back now. Zubza Hill sends it off the boards out to center. Ross back off the glass and in. Thompson can't come up with it. Gardner a chance off the rush. Gardner finds a man out front. Andrews just missed the net. What a chance there for Toronto. Keys may have gotten a piece of it. Zubza Hill to Whalen. Whalen back in over the line. Whalen a move. Kept away nicely by the Toronto defense. Zubza Hill in the corner. Zubza Hill stick handles. Zubza Hill in behind the Toronto net. Drops a pass back Elric. Bouncing puck. Zetis in pursuit. And time will run out here in this second period. What a battle between these two teams so far through 30 minutes. The two top teams in the round robin. Toronto number 1, Quinte number 2. They both win their semifinal, controlled the play in their semis. Toronto an 8-1 victory. For the Quinte Red Devils, it was 3-0 over Waterloo. And they have shown why they were the top two teams in the round robin here in this gold medal game. What a game it has been so far. A goal 27 seconds in from Brett DeMello. A centering pass that hit the stick of a Quinte defender, bounced into the Red Devils net to give Toronto a 1-0 lead. But after that goal, it was actually Quinte that had the bulk of the momentum for the next few minutes, and it led to a goal for them. Jensen Campbell finding the back of the net at the 4:21 mark. So just about 4 minutes later, pretty much exactly, Campbell finds the back of the net for the Red Devils to tie the game at 1-1. The two teams have traded chances at both ends. Xavier Zito and Ryan Keys have been absolutely stellar so far through the first two periods of this game. They will be looking to keep that up as we head into the third. We will take a quick break for our intermission. Lots to be settled here. The gold medal on the line in Waterloo. You're watching the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships live from Waterloo.
got something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to. Right here, right now. Oh, we are on our way. Starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's
are
best men's
ready.
under 18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid, and the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called the First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor programs, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of their life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. And
you know, it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures, and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move, and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
it was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could.
Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and It's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall.
Today, everybody's busy. And to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important.
I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to nights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden.
It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
minutes, all that remains in regulation here in the gold medal game of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. The Toronto Marlboros, the Quinte Red Devils, vying to be number one in the province. 1-1 game through 30 minutes of play. Jensen Campbell, the goal scorer for Quinte. Brett DeMello, the goal scorer for Toronto. The teams are back on the ice. We are all set and ready to go. The last period of the last game of this championship weekend is underway. Malkin Courtney goes off the boards for Jackson Elric down the ice. Xavier Zito looks to play it. Drops it off there for Samek. Samek for Andrews. Andrews out to center. Pursuing the loose puck is Sebastian Smith. Smith goes off the wall down the ice. Fata giving chase. Rafael Fata in behind the Toronto net. Feeds it over to Samek. Samek in the direction of Zetas. That one gets blocked. Up the line, Whalen finds Smith. Smith takes a shot, turned away by Zito. And back with it is Samek. Samek off the boards. Zetas for Fata. Fata out to center, pass deflected. Andrews giving chase. Now below the goal line, Smith. A deflection there. D'Agostini into the corner, cut off by Courtney. Courtney goes off the boards, can't clear. Back for it, Smith. Smith in behind the Quinte net. Feeds it up the wall, zubs a hill to Elric. Elric backhands it in deep, heads off for a change. Fata back to retrieve it for Toronto. Goes off the boards, Beauclair. Beauclair makes a move. Beebe plays it. Beebe loses possession. Fata sends it back to Samek. Samek all the way down the ice. This one's going to be icing against Toronto. So an offensive zone face-off coming up for the Quinte Red Devils here in a tied game here in the third period. Toronto trying to complete a perfect weekend. Quinte trying to walk away with the provincial title and pull off what some might view as an upset, considering the success Toronto has had all weekend long. Kindly fires it down the ice. After it goes Thompson. Thompson in below the goal line. Thompson shovels it off the boards out to center. DeMello back to retrieve it. Brett DeMello sends it in deep. Backhanded off the boards by Doyle. Beauclair will circle back at center. Beauclair to DeMello. DeMello poked away by Reed. Now racing ahead, Nelson. Cash Nelson over the line. Nelson shooting. Blocked there by Lee. Nelson back after to the corner. Puck died in a wet patch in the corner. Now it gets sent out to center here by Toronto. Thompson giving chase. Riker Thompson overskated it. Lee a chance. Kine Lee looking to get a handle on it. Takes a shot deflected over the net. Back after it now in the corner. Quinte gets it out to center. Nelson a feed. Just missed the intended recipient of Cohen Reed. D'Agostini. Now Lee over the line offside against Toronto. A stoppage in play here. Both of these teams playing a little bit cautious here in the third period, trying to ensure that they don't make a mistake that could cost them the provincial title. Jensen Campbell matches up with Luca D'Agostini on the faceoff. D'Agostini wins the draw. Rafael Fata races in. Fata goes out wide. Fata cutting to the net, tried to chip it over the shoulder of the goaltender. Just missed the mark. Fata back down low, Marchese. Marchese throws it off the boards. Now deflected up the line, Fata. Fata rims it back for D'Agostini. D'Agostini centers, Marchese on the doorstep. That one fired wide. Back with it, Norton. Max Norton out to center for Jensen Campbell. Campbell over the blue line. Campbell off the wall, pass deflected there. D'Agostini trying to reset for Toronto. Marchese off the boards. Zetas fires it down the ice. Malkin Courtney back on it for Quinte. Courtney sends a pass to Norton. Norton off the wall. Here's Gilchrist. Gilchrist a pass for Campbell, blocked there by Samek. Beauclair out to center, Gardner. Gardner working in. Gardner goes out wide, peels away, looks for a pass. Beauclair, a shot just missed. Andrews now in the corner. Andrews up top, Samek. Samek throws it down low, it's Thompson. Thompson off the wall, Andrews. Andrews cut by Thompson, comes back up high, Samek. Samek a feed, knocked down by Gilchrist. Campbell is on it, flips it out to center. Quinte getting a much needed change. Anthony Marchese in the Toronto bench telling his team to push here. Andrews sends a pass to Gardner. It gets blocked. Whalen back the other way. Feed to Elric, misfires. Andrew swings it over the line in deep. Keys lets it slide by and Elric will play it. Elric around the wall, out to center, and Ross settles the puck in neutral ice. Ross, a feed over onto the far wall. Samek works in. Around the end boards, Thompson there for it. Thompson for Elric. Elric ahead of steam through center, trying to beat Zetas. Elric over the blue line, lost the puck. Now sent back out to neutral ice. Thompson is on it. Samek off the boards. Fata plays it ahead to Gardner. Jackson Gardner, a feed towards D'Agostini, bouncing puck. Fata racing in, centering feed. Just missed Zetas there. Back out at center, DeMello, cut off by Whalen. Whalen throws it down into the Toronto zone. Cohen Reed trying to get there first. DeMello back for it in time. DeMello up the board, Zetas. Zetas swings it back to Fata. Rafael Fata through center. Now sent back in deep by Declan Doyle. Deflected by Zito. Fata gets back there, tied up with Cash Nelson on that chance. Zetas, backhand pass out to center. D'Agostini over the line. D'Agostini a move, trying to get to the net, poked away. Rebound loose out front, and Reed will recover for Quinte. On it now, Minor. Minor sends it pass to Ross. Ross winds in over the line. Ross holding and shooting. That one blocked. Ross back into the corner, looks to get around Courtney. Courtney works it to Beebe. Beebe from his own zone. Beebe over the blue line. Beebe maintaining possession while Quinte changes around him. Beebe off the end wall, Ross. Campbell applies pressure, Ross spins back. Ross for Beauclair. Beauclair through center. Beauclair over the line into the corner, centering pass, chase down low, pass save Keys. That's a huge stop from Ryan Keys down low. Jensen Campbell out to center for Max Norton. Norton chips it past Minor, pursues it in the corner. Norton centering pass, Gilchrist out front. Puck just trickles past the blue paint. Minor off the glass. Beauclair looks to force it out to center, can't do it. Now back at the line, Cooney pinching, can't hold. Minor's got it out to neutral ice, gains the red line, fires it in deep. Back for it, Thompson. Thompson in his own zone. Thompson races out to center. Thompson's over the line. Thompson working in, tight angle shot, glove save Xavier Zito. Rebound loose out front, Gilchrist. Now it comes to Andrews. Andrews pass through neutral ice off the skate of Elric. Elric circles back at his own end. Elric flies through center. Elric a move. Elric pushes off one man, goes into the corner. They both go hard into the end boards there. It was Samek and Elric. And Samek in some pain here, which leads to a whistle as they go to check on him. A rush up ice for Jackson Elric. Took Samek into the boards. Samek and Elric both went crashing hard. Samek able to get back to the Toronto bench, but in some pain. Elric stays out there. We'd like to thank our partners for supporting today's event. A special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Offensive zone draw here for Quinte. Off the face-off, Ross has it in his own zone, goes off the glass, out to center, all the way down the ice. This one's going to be icing against Toronto, so the draw will come back. This puck stoppage is brought to you by Barron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Barron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Face-off won by Quinte, spinning, firing Elric, tipped on goal. Zito makes the save. One of 18 for him, now 19. Face-off won by Toronto in the defensive end. Pass off the board. Zetas looking for it. Now Zubza Hill. Zubza Hill for Elric. That's offside. Elric didn't quite clear the zone in time, so we'll get a stoppage in play. Ryan Keys making big saves at one end of the ice. Xavier Zito matching him blow for blow with the other. A goaltender duel so far in this championship game. D'Agostini will take the face-off here against Nelson. Off the draw. Puck comes in deep to the Toronto end. Ross retrieves it. Ross out to center. Courtney giving chase, icing the call against Toronto. Face-off will be back in the Marlboros end here after the icing. Cash Nelson will take the draw for Quinte. Looking to make something happen offensively here and break through against Zito. Fata swings it around the end boards in the direction of Miner, just missed him. Miner goes for a skate here, gets it out to center Gardner. Gardner back for Miner. Miner a move, chips it over the Quinte line. Gardner back to retrieve it, bouncing puck Beebe. Cut off there by Miner. Miner across ice feed Lee. Smith giving chase. Smith hit by Lee there. Working away Nelson. Nelson under pressure from Beauclair. Comes back to Nelson. Cash Nelson for Will Beebe. Beebe through center. Beebe's over the line. Tied up by Lee. Now Fata. Fata for Beauclair. Beauclair working in. Beauclair throws it on goal. Glove save Keys. He will hold on. Another nice play by Ryan Keys there. Likely won't be considered a save as the shot wasn't necessarily going to end up on goal, but makes the glove stop, and the draw will go to his right here. Keys has stopped 22 of 23. Zito 19 of 20 so far. Zetas quick shot off the draw. Pad saved by Keys. Comes back to Thompson. Thompson in the direction of Campbell and Gilchrist there. Missed them both. Rimmed around the end boards by Ross. Zetas after it. Norton applying pressure here for Quinte. Andrews whacks away. Andrews nearly came away with possession but overskated the puck. Doyle off the wall. Norton trying to get it out to center. D'Agostini swings it in deep. Andrews back below the goal line. Pinching from the point is Ross. Ross stick handles. Spins it down low, D'Agostini. D'Agostini stick handling. Back at the line. D'Agostini working in, takes a shot through traffic, loose down low off the side of the net. Campbell goes back off the boards. Ross for the line through traffic. That shot blocked by Thompson. Quinte heads the other way, 4-on-3 here. Thompson over the blue line. Thompson looking to make something happen. Throws it on goal, pad save. Gilchrist just missed the rebound. Up the skate there of a defender, and after it goes Doyle in the corner. Now Norton, a penalty coming here. It's going to go against the Red Devils. While tripping was the first penalty of this game, tripping is the second penalty of this game. 6 minutes on the dot to go in this third period, and off the penalty box is Declan Doyle for tripping. Toronto 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. We'll remind you quickly that Entropy is the official online championship apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships, offering championship gear available for order now. Again, that's Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider of the U13 AAA All-Ontario Championships. Off the face-off, the puck squeaks out to center. It's Ross. Ross drops it back for Beauclair. Beauclair cross-ice Fata. Marlboros generated lots of chances on their last power play but couldn't crack Keys. Fata comes in over the line. Fata into the corner, centering feed. Zetas one-timer. Pad save Keys. Zetas back with it. Zetas peels away from Gardner, goes up to Ross. Ross back down low for Gardner. Gardner a takedown of his man in the corner. That was Courtney. Red Devils trying to clear the zone. Nelson works away. Gardner back to Fata up high. Fata's got space. Takes the shot. Save Keys. He'll hold on. Nice stop by Ryan Keys there with the glove. Marlboros again buzzing on the power play. Rafael Fata's got such a good shot. But a great stop made by Keys there. Draw to the left of Keys. Off the face-off. Marlboros control. Ross just missed the pass. Pressure from Elric. Ross back on it. Ross watched by Campbell. Ross gets around him. Ross has space. Plays it out front. On the doorstep. Gardner Zetas whacks away. Cleared down the ice by Thompson. Great chance there for Toronto. Riker Thompson sends it down the ice. Toronto looking to reset as you get another look here at the bouncing puck in the blue paint. Beauclair for Fata. Fata's over the line. Fata into the shot. Save Keys. Rebound is loose. Goes into the corner. Norton fires it down the ice. 40 seconds to go in the Toronto power play. Fata in over the line. Rafael Fata for Andrew Zetas. Zetas into the corner. Zetas to Gardner. Gardner watched by Elric. Gardner below the goal line. Elric applying pressure. Zetas has it now. Andrew Zetas. Now for Gardner. Gardner turns it over. Norton's got it. Norton makes a move, races out to center shorthanded. Norton's over the blue line. Norton a move, trying to get to the net. Couldn't do it. Penalty coming. Quinte's going to go to the power play after 6 seconds of 4-on-4. Interference is the penalty. And the Red Devils will head to their first man advantage of this game. Max Norton, another rush up ice. That led to a good chance. He set up the first goal by racing up ice. Right there, DeMello gets called for interference. So 6 seconds of 4-on-4. Then Quinte to the power play for 1 minute and 54 seconds. Red Devils have not been on the power play in this game. Draw will be in the Marlboros end here. Norton, Beebe, Whalen, Thompson, the 4 players thrown out there by Quinte head coach Kyle Adams. Here's Samek in his own zone. Time runs down to the penalty to Doyle. Quinte now in the power play. Samek down the ice. Whalen picks it up for the Red Devils. Whalen racing through center. Whalen over the line, taken down by Zetas there. Ross off the wall, fires it off the glass, down the ice. Back after it now, Thompson. Thompson in the corner. Thompson through center. Thompson working in, lets one fly, glove save, Xavier Zito. How about that from the Toronto netminder? I'd like to remind you that the Hockey Hall of Fame is a proud partner of this event, and as a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides players the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup, and hockey at its best. Face-off will go to the left of Zito here. 1 minute 24 to go in the Quinte power play. Cash Nelson will take the draw for the Red Devils. Off the face-off, Nelson wins it, Norton to the line. Whalen walks the blue, feeds Elric. Elric into the corner, Beebe. Beebe has Norton in the slot, takes the shot, scores! Power play goal! Max Norton, Quinte's got a 2-1 lead. His 6th of the championship breaks the ice in the final. And the Red Devils are up by a goal with 3:20 to go in the final period. At the 11:40 mark of the third, the Red Devils break through on the power play. They lead Toronto 2-1, and who else but Max Norton to finish the job. It'll be a full court press for Toronto now, trying to tie this game up. Off the face-off, Campbell controls, gets it back to Gilchrist. Now Courtney for Thompson. Thompson off the wall, Norton down the ice. And that'll be icing called against Quinte. Well, the Red Devils fans and family in attendance certainly got loud for that Max Norton goal as he rifled it home from the slot on the power play. Draw to the right of Keys here. He's been terrific in this game. Off the face-off, Fana works it down low, Beauclair. Beauclair battles with Norton for possession. Beauclair off the boards, Courtney. Courtney back down low, here's Zetas. Zetas to the line, Ross. Ross holds. Ross looking for a shot, takes one, blocked by Gilchrist. Gilchrist will skate it out to center here for Quinte. Over the red line, flips it in deep. Ross back to retrieve it for Toronto. Ross peels away. Fires it out to neutralize Beauclair. Off his skate, Fata racing ahead. Fata takes a shot off the skate of Thompson. Back after it, D'Agostini, a collision there with Campbell. Courtney tries to flip it off the boards. Zetas after it, forced out to neutral ice by Jensen Campbell. Cash Nelson applies pressure. Slapped down the ice there by Whalen. Toronto wanted a too many men call, but Campbell got off just in time. Here's Beebe. Beebe swings it back down low to kill some more clock. DeMello's on it. Bouncing puck. Nelson pokes it away from the defenders. Nelson into the corner. Nelson, a lap of the offensive zone, playing it on the backhand, jams it up along the boards, trying to kill some time here. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third period. Marlboros out to center, it's Zetas. Zetas over the blue line. Zetas working in. Zetas a move kept away by Riker Thompson. Thompson off the glass, down the ice. Is it going to be icing? Yes. Icing called against Quinte. Under 2 to play here in regulation time. Xavier Zito not headed to the bench yet for Toronto. Anthony Marchese has the whiteboard out. Will he call his timeout here for the Marlboros? Timeout called, so it appears. 1:44 on the clock. Marchese's got the whiteboard out on the Toronto bench. Trying to set up a play to find the equalizer late in this one. Both teams conversing. Marlboros trying to even this game up. Animated coaches on both sides of the ice here, looking to motivate their teams. For Quinte, trying to find a victory and hold on to a 1-goal lead for Toronto, looking to push for offense and break through on Keys. Keys has not been beaten by a clean shot in this game. The one that got by him, a deflection out front. Face-off will go to his right. Late stages of the U13 championship game here in Waterloo. Off the face-off, scramble for it. D'Agostini's got it. Zito streaking out of the crease, headed to the bench, shot through traffic, saved by Keys, rebound loose, a takedown of Elric. Elric tries to slap it around the wall, can't do it. D'Agostini centers, Beauclair fires. D'Agostini a try blocked in traffic. D'Agostini on it again, flips it up to the blue line. Ross out of the far wall, Fata giving chase. Zetas takes a bump from Elric. D'Agostini with it now. D'Agostini battles with Campbell. Loose below the goal line. Elric, penalty coming. Penalty coming. Who's it going to? Hooking is the call. Is it going to be Quinte or Toronto? It looks like it's going against the Red Devils. Hooking the penalty, it's going against Jensen Campbell. 1:09 on the clock, Toronto to the power play. 0 for 2 on the man advantage in this game. 6-on-4 right now, trying to tie it. And now it looks like we've got another timeout called. So both teams have now used their timeouts. Kyle Adams discussing things on the Quinte bench with his group as they try to hold on to this late lead. Toronto gonna drop a play again to tie the game up and potentially force overtime. What a game this has been to decide the U13 provincial champion. Horn sounds, both teams out of timeouts. 1:09 on the clock. 1:09 separating the Red Devils from a provincial title. Face-off will go to the left of Keys here. D'Agostini will take the draw against Nelson. Off the face-off, D'Agostini wins it. Fata works in for Ross, back to Fata. Fata walks the blue. Into the corner, it's Beauclair, lost it, Thompson rims it, off the wall to the line, held by Ross. Last minute here in the third period, puck comes to Elric, down the ice to the empty net, off the goal post. If you can believe it, it hit the post. Ross is back on it. Ross for Gardner. Gardner to Zetas. Zetas works it over the line. Zetas holding, shooting, save Keys. D'Agostini in the corner, looks to center, that pass blocked. Thompson lays the body, here's Beauclair. Beauclair up top. Ross into the corner, Beauclair again. Beauclair for Fata, pass deflected to the line. Ross holds, he shoots, tipped out front. Thompson blocks it, sends it down the ice. This one likely to be icing here, no. They've waved it off. Here's Ross. 15 seconds on the clock, D'Agostini looking for it. Back in deep it comes. Thompson there for it for Quinte. 10 on the clock. Red Devils trying to kill what's left here. Scramble for it below the goal line. We get a whistle. 7.3 seconds on the clock now. 1-goal game, Red Devils in the lead. Quinte up by a goal here late. Toronto looking to find the game-tying goal. Pivotal face-off coming up off the draw. Kicked free, fired down the ice by Cash Nelson. And the Quinte Red Devils are U13 AAA Ontario champions. What a battle, what a weekend, and what a result here on this Sunday night. Quinte emerges victorious, a late power play goal for Max Norton. And it's pandemonium in Waterloo. Everybody's seeing red. The Red Devils are provincial champions. What a celebration for Quinte. What a moment for them. U13 AAA All-Ontario champions. How about that? They do it in dramatic fashion. It took a late third period power play goal from Max Norton to seal the deal, to hand Toronto their first loss of this championship. They were undefeated coming into this game. And Quinte comes out with the victory. Wow. Incredible work by both teams here in Waterloo. Elation at one end, heartbreak at the other, but what a weekend for Toronto as well. Battled hard all throughout, undefeated coming into this game. They were terrific, all championship long. So much to be proud of for Toronto, so much to be proud of for Quinte. The Red Devils are provincial champions in 2026. We're nearly set for the post-game ceremonies here in Waterloo. Final setups being made. What a weekend this has been. 25 games over 5 days. And Quinte closes things out to win the provincial title. The medal presentation set to get underway in a moment. The Quinte Red Devils are provincial champions here in 2026. What a game by this team. What a battle all throughout. The two goaltenders trading saves, trading blows throughout the contest. Xavier Zito, Ryan Keys, terrific all throughout. So much to be proud of for Quinte. So much to be proud of for Toronto. And the Red Devils fight to earn their victory here on this Sunday night. We'll send it down to ice level here in just a moment. But what a game this was. Final preparations being made here on the post-game ceremonies. Medals coming out onto the ice. Brett DeMello opened the scoring 27 seconds into the first period. Jensen Campbell answered back 4 minutes later for Quinte to tie the game. And then Max Norton, the hero, his 6th goal of the championship, scored on the power play at 11:40 into the third period. The Quinte crowd on their feet, and we are all set to go down at ice level. Darren Stevenson is there for the post-game championship ceremony. Darren, take it away.
Teams. A round of applause for Toronto and Quinte. We will present the silver as well as the gold medals in just a moment. First off, I would like to introduce a few dignitaries with us tonight. Bruce Schlitt from the Ontario Hockey Federation. Mario Paquette from Hockey Eastern Ontario. John Kastner, a director from Hockey Canada. And it is our privilege to welcome the Mayor of the City of Waterloo. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us. Introducing Dorothy McCabe. Before we get to the player of the game, I'm going to ask Mayor McCabe just to say a few quick words. Mayor?
Thank you so much, and I want to start by thanking the volunteers and the parents and the coaches who got you to where you are today. They deserve a huge round of applause. Well done to all of those people who make this happen. Thank you to our amazing city staff who had this rink ready to go throughout the entire week. And I just hope all the parents spent all their money at our restaurants and bars and that you had a great time in Waterloo. So congratulations to Quinte, congratulations to Toronto, and of course to our Waterloo Wolves. Way to go. We'll get them next year. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor McCabe. The first thing that we're going to do is introduce our players of the game from the gold medal game, and I don't think this will come as any surprise to any of you in this building, the two players that I'm about to announce, because they played absolutely phenomenal. First up, from Toronto, the player of the game, please skate forward to receive your Hockey Hall of Fame bag from John Kastner from Hockey Canada. Goaltender Xavier Zito. Okay. And what an outstanding performance from this young man between the pipes. I think this cheering section over here is going to be pretty happy. Ryan Keys, the player of the game for the Quinte Red Devils. And to begin our medal presentation, I will pass the mic over to Bruce Schlitt from the Ontario Hockey Federation, who would like to say a few words and also give a few shout outs to some very important people who have contributed to the success of the tournament this week. Bruce.
Thank you, Darren. On behalf of the Hockey Ontario Federation, I just want to congratulate both teams on a fantastic final. Three people I would like to acknowledge, just as all of you have been competing all week for the privilege of being on the gold medal game. We also have three officials that's been doing the same thing for the last 5 days and are on the ice today based on their strong performance all week long. So we'd ask that Caleb Martin, Blake Pickering, and Beck McLeod please come forward. Thank you, gentlemen. Before we get to the medal presentation, a big round of applause for the host committee, Waterloo Wolves, on a fantastic week. I'd ask the coach for the Toronto Marlies to please come forward and introduce your team.
First, I just want to thank Waterloo for hosting a great event, and congratulations to Quinte. Jonathan Bouclair, Kine Lee, Rex Mashinter, Antonio Marchesi, Luca D'Agostini, Xavier Zito, Nate Miner, Andrew Zetis, Tyler Vonderkrom, Sammy Gracie, Brett DeMello, Rafael Fada, Luke Samick, Jackson Gardner, Marcello Biscaro, Evan Andrews, Jackson Ross, that's it. Yeah. Sure. Oh, you want to call him up? Chris Marchese, Paul Marchese, Eric Brown, Jacob Tersini.
Thanks for all your work.
Thank you. Thank you guys for everything. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, if the coach of Quinte, please come up. You running the mic?
Yeah.
All right, let's center here, bud.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that looked after this. It was a great weekend. The players really felt like professionals, and it was fun to watch. First, I'm going to call Mac Brown. He's right here. Yeah. Thank you. And now I'll leave the rest to Mac.
Beeps. Keezer. Reader. Riker. Doyle. Cooney. Seabass. Blaker. Soupy. Cato. Norts. Nelly. Shizzy. Mulkey. Jacko. Gilly. Braden. Jeff. Cookie. Way to go. Well done. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Way to go.
Coach, yep, hang on.
Yeah,
we got medals.
we got medals for the coaches too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for all the time and effort.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys are great. You wasn't Kirk over. Maybe not on the inside, but thank you. Thank you. It's a great week.
Yeah.
Congrats, buddy.
Oh, and then
That's yours, man. Thank you.
all right.
Now ask the captain of Quinte, please come up and accept the trophy. And 2 assistants as well for the banner.
There it is, your 2026 OHF U13 AAA champions, the Quinte Red Devils. Can I get Keys to come over here for a sec? Come on over. Where's Max Norton? There he is. Come on over here, guys.
Uh-oh.
So hang on. Come over here, Keezer. So quickly, just so you guys know, if you look up at that camera right there, we are still on the live stream. So I just want to ask you what it was like to score that game-winning goal and how amazing it really was.
Well, all I did was just shot it, and then I scored. It felt really good.
And to be the team MVP or the game MVP, describe that to me.
Yeah, it felt pretty good.
Anything you want to say to this group of people coming in the ice right now, your parents and all your supporters, as the Quinte Red Devils hoist that championship trophy?
Go Quinte! Oh!
That'll do it from this week in Waterloo. Thanks to everybody that watched on the stream, and obviously thanks to all the organizers for putting this together. An incredible week, 5 days, 25 games, and that wraps it up here from the Waterloo Memorial Rec Complex. You can see behind me the 2026 U13 AAA champions, the Quinte Red Devils. Thanks for watching on Denode. Thanks for watching on 519 Sports. Have a great night, everybody. Happy Sunday from Waterloo.